Thank you. How are you?
Oh, good. Just trying to get my course all running just perfectly.
Fantastic. All right, just getting the note takers admitted. Looks like we got you, me, and some AI tools, Judy.
That's how it was yesterday too.
All
So,
right. Awesome. Make sure we are recording. All right. Perfect. And cool. Looks like it's you for now.
well,
Let's dive
good.
in. What do you
Let's dive
got?
in. Okay, let
What's
me
going
share
on?
my screen. Oh, it
hmm
says sharing is not turned on.
Let me allow you to do that. Okay.
Okay, so I discovered a problem. I just need to see if I just okay, because I I deleted my test self as a student, and then I came back in after I made a bunch of changes. And now what's happening is that, so hold on, let me just see. So here, okay. So I want to leave this open because I think the problem might be in my experience engine, but I am actually in this incognito window over here as myself
Okay.
and as well as my test student.
Okay.
And what happened is I went through all the things, and so now this is really interesting because now it's showing me this. But what happened is I went through my training. I wish now I may have to delete myself and go through it again to get here. But I went through module one and I got to the end of module one and it showed me my module one bonus, which is what I want because I've got 13 modules and then each of them have a bonus at the end. So it showed me my module one bonus. I did that. And then it said, here's your next training. And instead of it actually being the next training in the module, it's the next bonus. And I don't want them to be able to see that. And in fact, they're not supposed to be able to see it at all based on the tags I had at the time. Like I
Okay.
should have had to have had my module, the module two completed. I should have had to like have a
Okay.
certain tag to get
Gotcha.
shown that, and
Got
none
it.
of that was going on. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on with that.
Okay. Perfect. So the first thing to know is it sounds like you are, all right, so we're looking at the next available training.
Yeah.
And and are you using binge mode?
I don't have binge mode turned on because I've actually only released two of the modules. And the rest of the modules are not even available for anybody to consume yet. So um it should be I think that I have it set up correctly. Here, let me go back to my non-incognito. And so like if we look at this, um none of this has really anything to do with this problem I'm experiencing, but like this here, unlock module one bonus when you complete module one. And so that all happened correctly. Um, and here's the bonus itself. So they can start that when Spark Your Journey, which is the first module name, is completed. And I tagged them something because I just in the order of how I wanted it to happen, I wanted something to happen one step before they completed the module. So I had this tag so that it would only show them module one bonus, basically kind of until they do it. And then because I'll remove that tag here, then when they complete module two, they shouldn't see module one bonus anymore. It should just be the module two bonus that they see. And they won't see the module one bonus anymore because I've removed this tag. That is what shows them the module one bonus. So all of this functioned.
So let me jump in here.
Okay.
Once you unlock a training, including a bonus training, it's going to be unlocked if you are doing things in the way that you're doing. There is
Oh,
another option to show and hide trainings, which is by creating blocks that
yeah,
contain
that's what I
specific.
did. That's exactly what I did. So this is about showing them the block. But here,
Okay, let me pause you for just a second.
okay,
So you have blocks set up that you show and hide visibility based on tag. Is that
correct.
correct?
Yes.
Okay, so and so the only problem is that a specific block is showing to a student when it should not be showing to a student. Is that right?
No, the problem is that in the here's your next training block, it's
That,
showing the
yeah.
bonus instead of the module.
Okay, so that is correct behavior because the next available training is going to show what's available, and if it has been unlocked, it's available.
It
So
would
if
show them the bonus before the training.
it will show whatever is next up. So let me just kind of jump in here and give you some high level guidance about how to think about this kind of thing because
Okay.
you're putting together a pretty complex setup and that's great, but you just want to understand how the different pieces are intended to function and which ones you want to choose. You can show and hide trainings based on showing and hiding a block and having that block be visible and not visible. And from what I'm hearing, it sounds like that part is working for you, but you also are using a feature called the next available training, and that is going to show whatever is available. And if a training has been unlocked, it's now available. It's not going to go away from being available. So the sequence that you just described to me, what you were saying, there's a training showing in the next available block, but it shouldn't be showing anymore because you removed a tag. But
No,
that,
that's not, no, 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 that's not what I'm saying. So, so what should happen is you have to do all the trainings in the module, and then the bonus is unlocked at module completion, right? So I set that up in the experience engine. So at the end of module one, it showed me my module one bonus appropriately. I completed that training. At the end of that, instead of when it says, here's your next training, instead of showing me the first training in module two, which is what it should have done, it showed me the module two bonus, which shouldn't even be visible to me because I have not completed that module yet.
and what makes you say that the bonus should only be completed when the module is completed?
Because here I have got um, unlock module two bonus if module one, or well, module two is the story of Soul Spirit Farm. Start unlock module two bonus if module two is completed. And that's right here.
And
And it
hop over
showed
to,
me
can you hop over to your step 3 for me, please? And go to the bonuses and go to the bonus that we're talking about.
the one that showed inappropriately.
Correct, yeah. So that bonus is set to be available immediately.
Yes. But
So
I
that
thought
means
that it should still be based on someone having, what's the point of setting up the thing in the experience engine that says, because like I thought that everything essentially was set to immediately.
nope. So that's the incorrect piece of the way you're doing it here. Ding, ding,
Okay.
ding. We've just unlocked the problem.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is the assumption you're running on is that if you've set up an automation somewhere, these trainings will be hidden. But that's
Yes.
not what you've set up because you have the training available immediately.
Okay.
So
Because
that's the
in the
problem.
video, in the support documents, the video about unlocking a training and doing that thing with the blocks of showing and hiding the blocks based on tags, she says in there very specifically to make sure all the bonuses are set to immediately.
That is a different thing that we're talking about. You're combining
Okay.
a couple of different features here.
Okay.
And what we're talking about here is not showing or hiding a block based on tag. We're talking about a single training being available or not available.
Okay. So I am supposed to set this. I'm supposed to set this to be leave locked.
So you've got options, and I'll go through kind of the overview of how it can work here. The way, like what you specifically would do will depend on the rest of the way the course is structured. And we can, to a certain extent, talk about it here. But when you have a pretty complex setup, some of this really requires more of like a true consultation with our team to go through like setup logic if you want to really go into like the entire thing. But
Okay.
what you can do is either set it to leave locked or you can set it to a date in the future.
Yeah, I
Either,
can't do that because this course is
okay,
rolling.
so
It's not a cohort.
okay, so the way this feature that you're looking at works is that it will override either um, a date in the future or it will override leave locked. So those would be the options. What
Okay, so
your
if
specific
I,
use case is going to
yeah,
depend on a lot of factors.
okay. So I certainly don't want it showing up before they've done the training right now, immediately. So if I make it leave locked, how does it unlock?
So now you can create an automation that is triggered by a condition of your choice, and the trigger will be whatever you want to happen. For example, they've completed something, they get a tag, and the action will be unlock that training.
Okay, so what about this automation that I already have set up that is called unlock module 2 bonus when the module is completed? Is that going to do it?
I would recommend starting from scratch because you don't want to change your automations midway when a student is going through the course. That's not going to give you clear data for what's happening. So I would delete that one and create a new automation after you have locked the training.
Okay. Okay. So I have now done this for all of the modules in here. I haven't created all the bonuses yet, but so like bonus number 1, it worked correctly. Um, I guess like it didn't pop up to show them that it was available until it was supposed to, based on this stuff that I set up here, I assume. I don't know. Maybe that bonus was just hanging out on the bonuses page available to everybody before they had begun,
Could be.
and so I guess the main thing that I need to know is that I guess so now the fact that I had set up this automation, but it was not the primary mover, I guess, right? So, like the fact that I had marked that training as immediately available, this didn't affect that apparently, which I guess I thought it would. And it sounds like what you're saying is that now that it's locked, I will, if I just recreate this thing exactly as it was before, now it will do what I want it to do.
Well, what I'm saying, I want to be careful about giving blanket answers here because honestly, the answer to what every single automation will do is in that automation. And so I'm not having visibility in this moment to like every piece of every automation you've set up. So I'm going to give you like the principles to work from. Immediately will always be available immediately. If a training is available, it's available. If you set up a training to a future date or to leave locked, then you can create an automation that will unlock that training based on a particular trigger.
So if I go back and I make all of the trainings in all of my modules to leave locked, then because right now these are just for the bonuses. These start unlock things. I've only set them up for the bonuses because I guess I assumed that what was happening as people were going through was that they were just starting at the beginning, and as they finished one, the next one became available. As they finished that one, the next one became available, like that, right? But if I now go and say, and like for module one, honestly, that's fine, right? It doesn't really matter. They can do it in that order. But for module two, I don't want them to be able to do module two until they've completed module one. And so I should set module two now to leave locked. And then I want to come in here and create this automation that's essentially like start, unlock module, start what? Start course, whatever module two is called, when module one is completed. That's what I want to do.
So you can set the training to locked, and then you can create an automation that says when so and so training is complete, which means that all of the actions are checked off, unlock this automation.
Okay. 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 I think
Okay.
I get that. And I do see someone else has joined us. So I don't want to take up all the time, but I do, if there's time, I would like to go to the showing and hiding blocks of my bonuses if possible that
Okay.
I have on my single training page.
Cool. Awesome. Good stuff.
Yeah,
Let's pause
actually,
and
this
say
is
hey to
kind of.
Kristen.
Oh,
Hey,
hi.
hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Actually, this is kind of related to my question too. So I was like, this
Perfect.
is perfect. That's perfect timing. I joined.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
For me,
anything specific you want to share or add to the conversation or ask about any of this?
yes.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to have like a series of these mini, like low cost mini trainings,
Okay.
and I want people to like kind of just purchase each one, but like obviously I don't want like a bazillion Xperiencify courses because I mean I'm limited to 10. So I'm thinking how to structure that. And I'm thinking like if I have a tag that is related to some products, I'm also using Go Plus.
Perfect.
And if they purchase that product, then I mean the same exact thing. Like when this tag is added to this user, then it can show this certain module. Would
100%.
that work?
It would. You might want to. This is another case where it's going to depend on exactly how you're setting everything up, but you might want to consider doing it by blocks or pages that are
Mm,
visible to your student. I'll just give you like the overview of what I'm talking about with that, and we can look at specifics. And Judy wants to look at the blocks as well. But basically, they could come into your course and you could have a couple of different options. You could have pages on your top navigator menu that were titled for the different courses, and they would only even see the option to go to that page if they had a particular tag. So they wouldn't, they would have basically when someone logged into your course, there might be a home page and maybe up top there's a menu and they only see whatever options are available to them as links on the navigation menu to go to. That would be one way to do it. They click on that, that takes them into a page. You can set up a page however you want. If your courses are small and kind of mini courses, it can be like a one-page thing pretty easily. So you could do it that way. You can also, which we're going to look at in a second, create individual blocks on any given page that only appear to a person with a tag. So when somebody
Mm-hmm.
logs in, if they have access to your first course, they see this block. And they might see one block, they might see five blocks. All of that would be determined by what they are tagged to see.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that would be good. Is there any way I 'cause I think I've seen this before where it's like I kind of want them to get the FOMO if they don't have all of the courses. And I would
Sure.
love it if there's a way that they can see what's everything that's there, but it's like kind of grayed out if they haven't purchased.
Um, there's a couple of different ways you might do that. I mean, first of all, you can show them whatever you want to show them. So you can create, something that looks like you can create a link, a block, a message that says, to add the rest of the content, to see more about XYZ. Your next step will be such and such.
Mm-hmm.
So keep in mind, you can create whatever you want for them to see. As far as being grayed out, I mean, yes, the all modules page has an option to have a grayed out view. So that is one possibility. But for the most flexibility, I would just keep in mind that you can create whatever messages and like design it however you want it to look within reason to communicate to them. There's more here. You can,
Mm-hmm.
click here and get that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, now I remember that's where I saw what I'm thinking of. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think
Making
that
sense
that
so
answers
far?
my question for now. Can we take a look at the blocks?
Yeah, for sure. Let's let me go ahead and just do a bit of a demo on this. So, I'm just going to go into a test course here, and I just clicked in to get into one of my courses. If I want to, I'll go ahead and show you just what it looks like right now. When I go to the home page, let me think, how's the best way? Oops. So basically, when we're thinking about creating what students are going to see, we are looking at setting up our pages in step 4. So this is where we can look at each page of the course and to show what we're talking about. For example, here we have a home page, we have an all trainings page, and each of these pages, whether we're talking about a header, this is out of order, whether we're talking about a block of content, whether we're talking about a block, like for example, Kristen, um, here is a block that could say, hey, you can learn more by clicking here. Regardless of what we are talking about, any of these blocks could be shown or hidden to anybody that we choose. So the way we would do that is by going to step 4 and I'm going to go into a page to demo it. I'm going to go into the home page. And when we scroll over each of these blocks, you can see these controls. You'll notice we've actually got a little control here that looks like a little eyeball. And that tells us that this block is only selectively visible. And if I hover over it, I can see exactly who it's visible to. So right now, this block is only showing to students with a particular tag. So if I wanted, and same with this one, and same with this one. So if I wanted to hide any particular block, I could just go into this edit content option right here. I would open my data menu. I'm sorry, I would open block visibility. So I'd click to open that. And you can see that you've got options here, and both Judy and Kristen, either of these options might potentially be useful for both of what you're talking about. You can set it up to show at specific times, and those specific times can even be evergreen. So it could be from day number one, as soon as they join the course, to day number 3. A particular block is available. And then on day 3, that disappears. And on day 4, another block becomes available. So you can set up creative ways like that. Or, of course, you can use fixed dates if that works for your use case. But you can also show the block always, but only show it to people with a particular tag. Or you can hide it from people with a particular tag. So if we select a tag, and I'm just going to go ahead and save that. Now this block right here is only showing to students with tag 0. So what I could do is set up any kind of condition that I wanted to trigger tag 0 being added. Or I can also just add tag 0 manually if I just need to reveal the block to a bunch of people, or if I need to, if something didn't get unlocked for some reason and I just need to show it to somebody, I can go to my students section and just add the tag manually. But I can also set up something like an automation where I say, once you have completed the first training, which completed is defined as the student has checked off all of the actions, all of the XPs, then you get tag 0 added. So that means that once tag 0 is added, this will be available. You can also, for your use case, Kristen, it's probably going to be better to do the payment through Go Plus for this, but you can add a tag, and the tags will sync from Go Plus, and you can reveal a block based on once they get a tag added, which could happen based on a certain purchase. So once somebody purchases a certain offer, they automatically get tag 0. That means now they can see whatever is in tag 0 block. To go back to the menu option, we could also edit our navigation menu here by going to edit content. And we could create a new link that is going to be for your new mini course. And it's going to go to a particular page in the course where you've created your mini course. Most likely that will be a custom page that you've already set up. So let's just say it's that one. Once again, you could show and hide this by tag. so that this option on your nav menu won't even appear unless you want it to. Of course, you can also, for your use case, Kristen, you can also do an external link if for some reason you are just housing a piece of content anywhere else. If you've got just a webinar that you've recorded and you've got it stored in a Google Drive link, you can put that link right here and just send people wherever they want. So kind of depends um, how involved your mini courses are. But if it's as simple as like giving them a quick bonus option, you can send them anywhere. And by the way, Judy, this could potentially be an option for you to use too, is that you can always just house a training somewhere and give people a hidden link to get to it. So let me pause there and see what questions you guys have about all of that.
Mm. Is there any way to do this, but like at the module level? I feel I'm thinking of creating like a big chunk of mini trainings, and if they're all on one page, I think that's just not gonna be good user experience. But is there some way that like they can all be little modules and then the tag just unlocks those?
Okay, so hold that thought. Actually, I will say technically yes, though it might get a little over complex for like what you're trying to set up.
Mm-hmm.
What you're probably going to want to use here is actually the appearing and disappearing blocks because one thing you can do is have a block, not give them all of the trainings at once, but just give them the first training. As soon as they complete it, that block gets hidden, next block appears. Does that make sense?
I'm thinking more of like a library. So they're not in any chronological order. They're about just like different topics. And then some topic they're gonna feel more appealed to. I might have like flash sale or whatever for them. But some topic they're gonna feel more called to than other ones. So it's like I want them to join
Okay.
that one first and then
Yep.
slowly like collect them like Pokemon. Like is my
Yep.
goal.
You can do this too. All right. So I'm going to show you the next set of options. So we mentioned that any block can be, we're still going to use appearing and disappearing blocks. We mentioned that any block can have a be hidden or not by tag. So one of our options we can do is a training contents block. And remember, you could set up these blocks on any page of your course. I'm going to demo it still on the home page because you could do this all on a home page. But what I could do is drag a training block on here. And I'm going to go ahead and customize this block by first editing the content. And the very first thing I'm going to decide is what trainings do I want to show in this block? Do I want to show every single training in my course? Or do I want to just show some trainings? I could do just show specific trainings. And then I'm going to decide exactly what they are. Maybe it's just training 1 and 2. And then I'm also going to give this block a tag for visibility. This one is called Australia. So here's what I've got. I'm going to go ahead and preview this page so that you can understand what the student is going to see. And what's going to happen, and my internet is being a little weird today. What's going to happen is your student If they have this block available, they're going to see this block. They're going to have options, and then they're going to click to view an option. Now, here's an important thing to keep in mind. When they click to view any training, like any training in your course, they are always going to be taken to the single training page. This is one place that they will always view like a single training from. But you'll see here, and in this case, you would have actions probably, but you would not use a next available training block because, Kristen, you're talking about um, only showing particular trainings to different groups of people. So you're not going to use a next available training block. You're just going to have a place where they can view the training. And we haven't even used the all trainings page yet. Back on the home page is where they had their library of what they can select from. So basically on any page you want, you can set up your library. You can set up the available block trainings that they get to choose from. And then when they click any training, they'll be taken to a page to view it. Of course, we could also do another training content block right beneath that, have the next set of courses trainings there. Once again, we want specific trainings. In this one, we just have training 3, and I don't have a lot of trainings to demo in this course, but here's your course number 2. That one is only visible to people with a different tag. And now this page is going to show both blocks because you're looking at it through admin preview mode, but a student is only going to see this library if they've got access to it, and this library if they've got access to it. And obviously you'll customize this text here to say what you want, or you'll remove it entirely. And from here, they click to choose their own adventure.
Mm.
Is this making
So,
sense?
so this two specific trainings, this is gonna override whatever tags they have.
Say it again. Override whatever
Is
tags
this
they have.
Yeah, so like if I choose the specific trainings in that content, the training content block,
Mm-hmm.
is it gonna override like what tags they have so they'll be able to like see all the courses that are available even if they haven't purchased them yet?
No, no, not at all.
No?
This
Okay.
tag, we're not overriding anything here. All we're doing is deciding here is a block that has some trainings in it that are only visible to who I say so. And here is another block that
Okay.
has some trainings in it that are only visible to exactly who I give visibility to.
I
Who do I give
see.
visibility to? People who purchased it.
Okay. And then if I want to show them like the library of things, then the um all trainings page. But all trainings still gonna just be theirs, isn't it?
It's going to be whatever you choose to put on it. You can put your library on the all trainings page. See, I'm showing you right here how to create a library,
Mm-hmm.
but you could do the same thing on the all trainings page. Every page is customizable for whatever you want to put on it. So
Okay.
if you didn't want this on the home page, we would just set up exactly what I just did here on the all trainings page. Does that make sense? Or am I confusing you?
Mm, I think.
Here, I'll show you. Let me go here. So I'm on the all trainings page, and we're gonna have a, let me move this, that's bugging me. We're gonna have, by default, we're just gonna have your normal boring old, not really, but your typical thing here. But we could customize this just in exactly like I just showed you. The all trainings page can have one library for group A and another library showing to group B, and they only see exactly what you decide they see.
Okay. But it's still, I mean, it wouldn't be grayed out or anything. It would just be if they have that tag or not.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. How it's okay. Is there any way to make it like it would be grayed out? I'm thinking of doing like
All right, we're gonna get more
Kajabi kind of has
complicated.
something like this.
There is. Just know it's gonna get more complex, but
Okay.
there are lots of things that are possible. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to the all trainings page, and we're gonna set up our library here. So again, I'm gonna customize the content, and what I'm going to show is show all modules. I only have one module in this course, but it is enough to demo it. I'm going to save that. So right now I have one module, and this is just an image, and of course I can title it something else. If I had more modules in my course, I could have lots of modules here. But what I'm going to do is go over to my account section. I'm going to click on account here, and I'm going to go to on this very first tab called your account. I'm gonna scroll down to miscellaneous settings, and I'm gonna look for module visibility style. Right now I have it set that modules are invisible until some content is available. I'm gonna change this to say visible but can't click into them. This is going to give me a grayed out module. So that's my first step is I've got module visibility style. Now I'm going to have a grayed out module. Now I'm going to have some more steps to do because in order to have the content not available yet, I would need to limit the access in a different way. And that would be by putting the training to a future release date and releasing it based on an automation that I create. So I told you
Hmm.
this was going to get complex because we're
Yeah.
combining like three different features, and you would need to do a good bit of setup here. But we would set up a training to be locked or set to a future date, but probably locked would make more sense. So I would set it to
Okay.
leave locked. And then in step 5, I would create an automation that is going to release it on some kind of condition. And until it is released, it's going to be, um, the module is going to show up to the student as like the grayed out version that you're looking for.
Okay.
Now, we would still need to set up different content blocks for each one. We would still need to select exactly what each student sees in each one. And then we would need to set up automations to release everything appropriately. So I'm just warning you, this is getting pretty complex for,
Mm,
I like to caution not to like overburden yourself with making things super complex when they
mm,
can be simpler because that tends to slow people down and get a little bloated. For a simpler solution, you could also just create a block again that, even create an image if you want that looks grayed out and say, once you purchase this, you'll have access to the next thing. And I think that would probably accomplish what you want in a much easier way. But the technical answer is yes, it's possible to do what you want to do with lots of setup. So let me hop back over to Judy. We're covering a lot of in-depth stuff here. How's it going, Judy?
It's going good. So that block thing, that all worked for me. I think the way I set
Cool.
it up actually worked. Now, I think really the problem was just that I had made that training available immediately. So I hope I have that set up. My other question tonight that's kind of pressing is that I set up some custom fields that I thought were going to show up on the student sign up form, but they don't. So I think I may have done something wrong with setting them up, right? Because should so it's like I wanted them to list their workplace, right? And like things like that. And I set up those custom fields, but they're just not, they're like in the student, profile, but they're not on the original form, so they can never fill it out.
Okay, so let's go to the order form. And let me see, where are my custom fields? There we go. All right, so in the order form, here's where I'm at. I've edited the order form. I've opened up left column data. I've scrolled all the way down. I've got options in here for like phone, for address. I've scrolled all the way down past that to get to custom fields. So, is this where you added your custom field, or where did you add it?
I believe I created the custom fields in my account.
That's the first step. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So I created the custom fields in my account, and now I am looking at the order form, and I am opening this up. I'm saying edit content. Oh, see, now here's what's really weird. It's actually there. When I
Cool.
am looking at it in the editor, my fields do show up. But when I just signed up as a student, they didn't. And
Do you have them hidden?
I guess it seems like it. They're on, yeah, they're in the editor, but they're not on the student form.
Okay, so you want to make sure they're unhidden. You want to make sure that your value is editable by the student
Okay, hold on.
in
So,
your account section.
okay, so I'm editing the content of the form. It's like I've clearly added these things because they are here. Um, First name, last name, email, phone, those were all there. Okay, shipping address. You know what's really interesting is like city is just not an option. But is that just because we figure we're going to get that from the zip code? Because just like city is not, just not a thing in here. We go to country, default country, zip code. But anyway, so you know what's funny is I I think this is left column data because I think the right column is the course description and stuff, right? So in the left column data, we've got, all I've got
All right,
the
hang on for a
first
second. I'm
name.
gonna I'm gonna check on a couple of
Okay.
dev
First
tickets.
name, last name, email, phone, shipping
Okay, give
address.
me give me just 1 second, please. No,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, they just don't show up as options to add them,
Yeah, I'm looking this
even
up
though
real
they're
quick.
there. Yeah.
All right, the coach has custom fields. All right, I'm just looking at a couple of dev tickets to see exactly where this is supposed to be.
Oh, this time when I deleted myself as a student and I tried to do it again and now they're there. So I don't know.
Fantastic.
Yeah, okay.
Great job.
No,
Okay.
forget it. It's working. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get back to my Zoom screen. Um, okay, so you found you used the drop-down menu to find your token for the custom field, or
Yeah,
what did you do?
yeah,
Do you want to
yeah.
show?
No,
Okay,
it actually was all set up. So I don't know why the last time I tried to log in, it wasn't showing because I've added myself and deleted myself as a test student like 5 times now. And there are some funny things that are happening with that where it's like saving my essay responses from previously and things weird like that. Like it sort of still knows I'm me, even though I've always done it in an incognito window and then deleted myself and
your
then
browser
tried
may be
again.
remembering it anyway. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
normal. Your browser will
yeah,
still remember some. Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I think whatever, who knows?
You
But
found
right
it
now it's
though?
working.
It
Yeah.
cool. Good job. All right.
Thanks.
Congratulations. You win.
Woohoo!
You are you're doing the advanced stuff. Um, Kristen, how are you doing? Before we log off in just a couple of minutes, I want to just make sure
Oh,
we're
sorry.
doing we crammed a bunch into this hour. You guys are awesome. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I think yeah, I have a lot of good ideas now I
Okay,
can play around
fantastic.
with. So thank you
Okay,
so much.
very cool. All right, so Judy, you're feeling good on the custom fields. Oops, you're muted. Um, Judy, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Sorry, I was muted. I was just, since I re-added myself as a new student, I was just trying to run through and make sure that that bonus thing was fixed in this last minute or two, if you don't mind. I just want to, it'll just take me a second to go through it and
Sure, go
run
for it.
through really fast. So I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
go for it. I'm gonna take a look at these custom fields in the order form while you're doing that.
I'm gonna mute myself so you don't hear all the woohoos. Just a
Okay.
second. Okay, so it's interesting. Um, and now I'm gonna have to look at this because what's really weird now, and maybe this is just I shouldn't do it this way, but so I'm on the very last question of my very first module. Like, so it's the very first thing. And I haven't checked off the all the answered it, boxes yet. But when I get to the here's your next training part, it's actually it's like showing one that is like five, a couple modules away, and it's showing the release date. Because like that one, I have the ones in between here and there are set to leave locked, but then this one I had put it as a release date, and it's showing that one now before the one that actually will be unlocked when I check this last box. So that's kind of weird. But maybe
So
it's
if
like,
it's locked, it's not showing to them.
yes,
So,
correct. So
yeah,
what I need to do is I need to make all of these
make it
locked.
consistent.
And
Yeah.
then the drafts, because I have a lot of stuff that isn't totally complete that's near the end of my class, and it's all set as drafts.
Okay.
And so those won't show, correct?
Correct. Drafts
Those
will
are
never
never
show to
going to
your
show up.
student. Yeah.
Okay. So hold on. I'm just going to very quickly edit my experience engine, and um I think I can fix this really, really quickly. Um, I'm gonna change that. Well, I'm just gonna make those ones leave locked instead and see if they go away. Well, now that, yeah, okay, yeah. I just need to change that one to leave locked. I was trying to give them anticipation by being like, okay, don't worry, it's coming, but
Yep. Yep. Yep.
apparently no, we don't want to do that. We just don't want to give them any clues about what's about to happen. We're just going to just keep them in the dark about this. All right, and I think this one I have that I need to change. Leave locked. And one more. Well, I may, now that I see how this is working, I don't think I will have time to go through and change all of these because I've probably got six of them that I have to click on to change to leave locked here.
Cool. Well, it sounds like you have sorted out some very good stuff here.
I
I
hope
still need
so.
to check on those custom fields for myself. Great stuff.
Okay, well, thank you
Awesome.
very much.
Keep me posted, and it sounds like you are on top of the testing, but it's a good idea to do like a fresh student when you're ready to test, like create a new email address.
Oh,
And
don't use the one I deleted. Like,
it should be okay. I would just create a brand new email address just to make it simple. You can do like add a plus and more characters to the prefix of your regular email in most email systems like Gmail.
uh-huh.
Do you do that?
Oh, I have like 10 Gmail addresses, so this will not be a problem. I can just use one of them.
Yeah,
But
just grab a fresh email address,
okay.
start from scratch. That's just gonna make sure everything's clean and your browser is less likely to remember things that you don't want it to try to remember since
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
helpful.
I guess I just was hoping too that it's only showing me that stuff, my old answers, and it wouldn't be like somehow showing other people those answers.
Not likely, but yeah, you can. I would just grab a fresh email address, grab a different browser, and then you can just log in and see exactly what a new student will see, and then
Okay.
go through the sequence. So get it set up, and then go through the whole sequence and test, and you'll get the cleanest results. And
Okay.
hopefully get this sorted.
I know. Okay. Well,
Great
thank you
stuff,
very much.
Judy. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the great questions and use cases and demos. This is going to help people. We just went through a lot in
Yes.
that hour. So thank you
Awesome.
for
Yes,
bringing all that.
the bot can only do so much for me
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. All right. Thank
All
you,
right. Take care.
Rachel.
Keep me posted how this goes. And
Okay.
yeah, see you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.